Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to take a call on this bill. Can I start by saying that we support this bill going to select committee, but that is qualified support. I want to address the two main proposals in the legislation. When Labor was in government, we started work on strengthening oversight of the children's system. The BT report highlighted how inadequate our system of oversight was, and Labor acted quickly to make it stronger. We established the independent child monitor, and we enabled the Ombudsman to provide accessible and timely complaint and investigation processes for children and young people, and we boosted the diversity and advocacy powers through the Children and Young People's Commission. At the time, we also reduced the review period to 3 years instead of 5 to enable the review to take into account recommendations from the Royal Commission into Abuse and State Care. I would like to take this opportunity to commend the work of the Independent Child Monitor and the 5 Children's Commissioners in their tireless advocacy for children and young people and the work of the Ombudsman. But, Mr. Speaker, I find it really difficult to be speaking on this proposed changes to legislation to improve the oversight of the children's system when we have just had question time and serious questions being asked about safeguarding in the children's system to ensure when the ability to use force on children in custody is being discussed and debated and decided by Cabinet. I find it difficult to believe what the government is saying in terms of their desire to ensure that we have the best oversight and protection for our most vulnerable children and that we respect their advocate and the voices, when the Minister for Children did not even bother to consult the Children's Commissioner on the proposed changes in the youth justice policy space. Mr. Speaker, we support any changes that will build the trust that has been spoken about in terms of the independence of the Independent Children's Monitor. But in terms of the changes to the Children's Commission, we do not support the reduction down to one single commissioner. When we established the Children and Young People's Commission, we put in place a model with 5 commissioners, led by the Chief Children's Commissioner. And we did this to get wider and more diverse representation on the Commission, to enable more robust advocacy for children and young people. And because of that, we believe that we need diverse representation for children and young people, and we don't support those proposed changes in this legislation. Stakeholders have now had time to see in action the changes that Labor made, and we believe it is important to hear from stakeholders on this and their views on the current system and what this bill proposes. So we look forward to the select committee process, where submitters will be able to give us their views on the increase of children's commissioners to provide that diversity. Mr. Speaker, over the past year, this government has made significant cuts to Oranga Tamariki frontline services. They've introduced boot camps. They are repealing Section 7AA. And we have seen the benefits of having a robust system of oversight for our children, holding the government to account on behalf of children and young people. So, to reiterate, we support this legislation going to select committee. We support any enhancements to the independence of the Independent Children's Monitor. We do not support the reduction of commissioners for Mana Mokopuna. We look forward to the select committee process, and we challenge the government in all that it is doing across the children's system to ensure that we have the best safeguards and monitoring in place that is respected, that is sought out, that is consulted at every opportunity, so that we can ensure we are doing everything that we can possibly do to ensure we do not have a repeat of the abuse and care we had in the past. Kia ora, Mr. Speaker.
And I hope that's not going to be introducing the thing. Whack the kid now, ask if the kid did anything wrong later, because that's issuing the punishment before finding out if the punishment is justified.
Oh, who knows with this system? I mean, it is a very interesting thing to see the governments that they're going, oh, you know, children are a big concern. We've got to look after them. And we know the reports that are coming out now about the boot camps and the use of corporal punishment there. But there was a story that came out this week saying there was another 540 people who have lost their jobs in Oranga Tamariki. We're hearing stories all the time of services being cut because funding's being cut. And we saw what happened around Section 7AA when they took that out, which had provable outcomes that were really easy to see. They clearly are sitting there going, we want to say the right words, but the actions don't match those words. And if we move everything around, maybe nobody will notice. And to be fair, they don't have a really good track record when it comes to appointing commissioners. If you just have a look at the Human Rights Commissioner and the Race Relations Commissioner, they are really bad choices, and the process is incredibly dodgy on how they got into that position. So I think it's got the stink of New Zealand First Act and National at the moment, because their processes are clearly not up for par, and we're seeing real problems pop up with them.
Yeah, I think we might find a few better people sitting at the local dole office than who have actually ended up getting the roles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, You know, maybe you might need to have some unknown nobody who's never who's on the unemployment benefit, because they might actually have a bit of more compassion.
That at least understand the systems a lot better.
Yeah. Well, they understand WINZ a lot better than probably some of the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to Kuhurangi Kata.